In this lesson, we're going to take a look at ways to manage larger numbers of configurations using tables and Excel. When you're only creating a couple of configurations, probably doing it manually the way I've shown already is the best way to go. But if you have a large number of configurations or a large number of dimensions or features being controlled, you may want to use a more sophisticated tool to do that. Let's use the part that we used in the last example, which I've named Simple Configurations, and it's in your directory for working files of Chapter 3. Let's talk about one way to configure a dimension. If we double-click on the part and we get the dimensions up, we can right-click on a dimension and choose the Configure Dimension option. This brings up a mini table that allows us to create additional configurations and to add additional values. So let's go ahead and make an additional configuration just called 1. Make the dimension in here 1. And we can expand this box, create a new configuration, 2, and the value is 2, and so on. So as soon as we apply this and say OK, we can see the new configurations showing up in the Configuration Manager. So let's activate these and see what they look like. That sort of thing is great for controlling dimensions within a part. You can also right-click on a feature and say Configure Feature and get a similar sort of dialog box. So on a couple of these features, we will have the cutout suppressed, and a couple of them will have it active. Notice that configuration 2 and the default configuration both have the 2-inch dimension. But one has the cutout turned on and the other has it turned off. All of this is great when you're just dealing with a few changes and maybe just a few configurations. But in some cases, you want to see everything all laid out in a single table, and you may have a great deal more information than what I've demonstrated so far. To go with a full-blown table, go to the Insert menu, Tables, Design Table. Design tables require setting up some syntax for feature names and dimensions, and if you're good at that, you can use the blank option and fill in everything on your own. Or you can choose to allow SOLIDWORKS to automatically create your design table and fill it out appropriately based on your existing configurations. Since we already have a couple of configurations and a few dimensions or features configured, the auto-create route is really the best option. You could also create a new design table for a particular part from an existing file if you have one. The Edit Control panel will control whether the design table is in Ultimate Control or the model is in Ultimate Control. As it's set up now, you can make changes to the model and they will propagate to the design table. If you choose the Block Model Edits option, then changes to configured features can only be done through the design table. The Options panel tells SOLIDWORKS how to handle new items in the design table. The most important option here is right up front with the auto create for us, and we'll just click OK. SOLIDWORKS automatically fills out this design table with all of our configuration names and all of the features that we have configured. When you're changing the size of this window, which is basically just an Excel window inside of SOLIDWORKS, you need to be careful because if you slip and click outside of the box, SOLIDWORKS will just shut down the design table. The design table can be found on the Configuration Manager tab under the Tables folder. You can right-click and edit the table to get back into the Excel spreadsheet. And again, just be careful when changing the size. If you want to add additional configurations, remember that you can use any sort of Excel trick. I can grab both of these and paint the numbers down. You can use even equations and lookup tables to help you establish dimensions and suppression states. The dimension is driven by this column. The header is D1 at sketch 1, and we can go ahead and key in additional numbers. We can copy these however we like, overwrite particular ones, and then the suppression state can be handled in multiple ways, but U for unsuppressed and S for suppressed is the most common way. Suppressing the sketch is not really necessary, but suppressing the feature is probably what you're after here. So I will add unsuppressed for several of these features and suppressed for the rest of them. When you're done establishing the design table, you can just click outside. SOLIDWORKS will close it down, and it notifies us it has added all of the new configurations that we created in Excel. We say OK, we can see all of those new configurations added here to the configurations list. We can double click to activate any one of these.